All right, there we go. Let me start the recording. All right, I think we're good to go. Alrighty, so last time we needed to update this. I'm not going to change this from a I'm not going to change this to user ID and choice ID. We're going to keep the user in there. What we're going to do instead is we're going to come into our pull repository. Let me go into pull repository. And let's see here. And repositories, pull repository. We're going to try one thing first. So we're going to go ahead and say optional pull. We're going to find by pull choice. And then we're going to pass in the pull choice. Oops. Choice. We're going to try to find the pull by the specific pull choice because all these pull choices should be unique basically. Go ahead and import this from Java util and import our pull choice. And now theoretically, what's your problem? Optional pull choice. Let's see. Invalid derived query, no property pull choice. What is it called? Let me go back into our pull. Is it just called choices? Okay, it's called choices. So we'll find by choice. Maybe find by choice. I don't know if this will work. What about you? Nope, it has to be choices. So that's not going to work either, huh? Because this wants an array. Okay, so I guess we are going to change this. So it was worth a shot. So we're not going to do that, I guess. So in our pull service, update vote for choice to take in user ID and choice ID. So we'll go ahead and say integer choice ID, and we'll say might want to spell integer right. So integer, we'll say integer user ID, and we'll fix this up. We need to import a couple things. Integer user, user ID. We might bring in the service. Let me look at our user service to see services and user service. Do we have a get by ID? Get by username, update, register, generate, verify email, set password, load by username, set profile, follow, get following, verify. So I guess we're gonna set up a get. This is your server. Yep. Let's go ahead and say public application user get user by ID and integer user ID, and this will say return user repo dot find. There should be a find by ID, right? Find by ID. Pass in that user ID, or else we'll throw a user does not exist exception. I think this is a runtime exception. I don't know for sure. But now we'll go into our pull service. We'll say private final. And this will be user service. User service. If I could type, it will pass in the user service here. User service, user service. And we'll bring this in, this dot user service equal to user service. So we'll grab the user by their ID. This will make our lives a little bit easier. So what we'll do is we need to get the choice by ID. So we'll say how do we want to do this? How how do we want to do this? So we need to get the, let's go ahead and get the entire, let's go and get the entire poll first. Get the entire poll from the choice, because if you remember inside of our poll choice, it has the actual poll itself. So we have the private poll, so we should be able to get the poll. Let's go ahead and comment this out, and this needs to return the poll. Just return null for now, right? So we should be able to basically say poll p is equal to poll repository dot get by ID. We probably want find by ID. Find by ID. We'll pass in the choice. Shoot, we need the choice. Say poll. Oh, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna say poll equal to poll p equal to poll repository. Although we need the poll choice repository, so we'll say poll choice repository, assuming that's what I called it. Let me double check. Poll choice repository dot find by ID, and we'll pass in the choice ID, and this is going to complain for a little bit. And then we're going to say dot now. How are we going to do this? I don't know if we want to map it, right? Because we do need or else throw, but we also need to like not stream this, but convert this to a poll. I guess here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead. We keep going all over the place. Poll choice PC is equal to poll choice repository dot find by ID. Not find all, just find by ID. And we'll pass in the choice ID here. Dot or else row. We need to create a new. I'm surprised that worked. Does this just throw a? Oh, it just throws a no such element exception if you don't pass anything. Huh? I didn't know that. We'll keep that as is. And now we'll say that the poll is equal to PC dot poll is equal to PC dot get poll. So now we have the entire poll as well. Okay. So now what we can do is we can definitely say set this stuff up. We could say set application user is equal current votes is equal to PC dot get votes. We need the user also. We'll also grab the user. So grab the user. So we'll say application user is equal to user service dot get user by ID. Pass that in, and that could throw an exception, but we already have a handler for that, so it should be fine. We got the application user. We'll pass the user in. We'll say choices.set votes. So we'll say PC.set votes on that. And we'll save this. So PC. And then we need to return this. Did we ever set the poll? So poll is, I don't know if we have a way to, let's see here. Let's do this. So we have the votes. We add the user, whoops. And then we have PC dot set votes, and we save the PC. So let's system out print PC. I think we have a thing set up for it. So let's go ahead and try to create a poll. So we come into our postman. We should be able to create a poll. Body. We have poll choice 1, 2, and 3. Then that. Okay, we made a post without media. It has a poll. And our poll choice ID 4. So now instead of choice, so now we have, I believe, like choice ID. And now we need to also modify a couple other things to make this work. So we need to, let's see. Let's go into our DTO, make a new, do I already have a create poll? Poll vote DTO, I do. So this will be, instead of choice, this will be integer, integer choice ID, and this will be, let me copy paste this, integer choice ID, and this will be integer user ID. Oops, integer user ID. Copy this, paste it here, and then we'll have this dot choice ID is equal to choice ID. This dot user ID equal to user ID. We could probably be using records for these, but whatever. And we'll generate, so source and generate getters and setters for both of these. And we'll generate a toString. Okay, that's fixed. Now obviously our controller is still broken. So here, this will be get voice ID, we get user ID, simple enough fix. And now we should be able to call the poll service. So now this is just going to say choice ID, and I think it's like 4, right? Choice ID is 4, and then we need a user ID, which is probably 1 because I think the user is the first thing that gets first 2. So choice ID 2 or user ID 2. It's not going to return anything. Well, I guess it returned to 500, so that's cool. Oh, you know what? Let's try this. Post 8, 4, 3, user 2. Okay, let's try again. Okay, that's what I expected. Return nothing. That's fine. Come into here. And let's see. So we got our poll. I'm not worried about that. So our poll choice brought back the poll choice. The poll equaled 3. The text, it has a vote in there. Ooh, it has 2 votes in there. Oh wait. Oh, never mind. That's the same user. I'm just dumb. Ooh, it has a password. Although then that gets JSON ignored, so it should be fine. Okay, so that works. So now we need to go through. I don't know if replace works for this because I don't know if we necessarily have a compare to. Let's take a look at how replace works. So if I say Java list replace, I don't want a specific index. So there's no just replace, it doesn't look like. So if we say poll dot get choices dot, we have add clear contains an object. This just returns a boolean. It doesn't tell us where it's at. We have a get. There's an index of. Can we see if this actually works? What if we say system out println PC or poll.getChoices.index of, and then we pass in the index of the PC, which is the current poll. Although or of a choice. I have a suspicion that this won't work because we added a user in there and it's gonna break basically, but we can run this. Okay, that's expected. So 0. Let's double check this real quick. Let's go ahead and restart the application and let's choose not poll choice 4 because it could have just, you know, not worked. Let's try this again. So let's go back into Postman. We'll make our poll. So let's say 6. So this should be index 2, right? So copy this and let's make this so choice ID 6. And okay, so that does work. So we can replace. So we can say is. So we can say list of poll choices equal to PC list. Oops. PC list is equal to poll.get choices because I want to update the poll as well, which we might not even have to. But why is Java util not the first option there? Who knows? So now we got that. So we'll say PC list dot, and then it said like replace down here. It looked like stream sort size set replace all, remove if, retain all, set index. Does this replace it though? It is. So we'll say poll.get choices dot index of an index of poll choice, and then we're going to replace it with the poll choice, and then we will return the updated poll. So we'll say return poll repository dot save. This might be overkill, and we'll save that poll. Now whenever we vote for a poll, thank you for the like. Whenever we vote for the poll, it will send us back the updated poll so we could update the front end basically. So let's try this out. So let's go ahead and make our post. So we make our post. We say we want to vote for a poll choice ID 5. So now we'll say 5. We might want to put a, well, you could probably vote for your own poll. Although something that we want to check for is if the user's already voted. Okay, the user you're looking for does not exist. Well, it's because I modified the wrong thing. Okay, let's go say 5 here. And do that. There we go. We got the poll and votes on here has the user. Cool. So that worked. So something that we do want to probably do is we probably want to check to see if any of the polls, any of the choices includes that user already. So we should grab the user maybe and then say a list of application user and say like current votes or something. Current votes is equal to a new array list. Actually, you can say current votes is equal to, how can we do this? So I want to basically say this ought to be after poll, I guess, because we need to get the poll first. So basically I want to say that the current votes is equal to, and this will be poll.get choices. We want to like dot stream this. I don't know how this is going to work. Dot stream, and we need to like dot stream again because it's a dot stream this list, and then this, each one of these has a accumulates the elements of this stream into a list, because we want to go through each of the choices, and then each of the choices has a another list. Let's see. Here's a stream consistent elements in the stream. We could map these. Returns a stream consisting of the results. So we could map these to, we could say dot map. So dot map, and this is, so, we'll say dot map each choice. And we'll say choice dot get votes dot, can we stream this? We can dot map this. We can dot map that, and we can say user, and then just return user dot to list. Doesn't like it. Dang. So let's see. Thanks for the like again. Type mismatch. Cannot convert from list set application user to list application user. So at this point, what are we at? At this point, choice.getVotes is a set of application users. So we map this. We can't. I want to like basically say like for each again. Because right now we have a list of sets, basically. When we say .getVotes .stream dot map, this probably won't work either. User. Now what's it say? Cannot convert stream object to list dot to list. What about this? What's this say? Cannot still list stream application user to list application user. Okay, we're closer. What does this say? Cannot convert list to list application user to list application user. Why get rid of this? Stream object. So we're getting farther away. So now, let's see. What is user? User is because we're streaming get votes, which is a list. Think about this for a second. Think about this. So here, choice.getVotes, and then we'll say dot to list here. So this is a list of a set of application users. We want to, whenever we map that, it's making a list of sets of application users. We want to return I want to map these to a user. Dot map user. We do collect. That takes a consumer though. Performs a mutable reduction operation on the elements of the stream using a collector. A collector encapsulates a function used as an argument. Allowed for reuse of collecting strategies. Like, we almost need to map it again. Because here we got a stream. But we can't map it again. I guess we can. Trying to make this. What does this say? Now it's a list stream application user. All right. Time for our old friend Google. Java extract all objects from a list of sets. You know what? Can we say list.of? Well, that just takes in elements. Does this work? It just takes in an E. Doesn't actually take in a list. We can say new array list application user, and then say oh shoot, let's say votes. We can say add all, right? And that just takes in an entire collection. This isn't the cleanest way to do this. We could say EC poll.get choices.get, although we don't know how big it is. This is annoying. So I guess best case scenario, and there's got to be a way to do this with the stream, right? There's got to be. I don't know how there couldn't be a stream or a way to do this with the stream. We'll say for, we'll just set before int I. So we'll say, what will we say here? We can just say PC or poll dot get choices dot for each choice. Oops, not equal to for each choice. For each choice, we'll say choice dot get votes dot for each, right? And then for each user. And then inside here, is this not a user? Let's see, lambda expression user cannot redeclare another local variable. We'll say vote user. I don't know. We'll say, oh, we can just do this. So we can say like, if our vote user dot get ID, might be user ID, equal to user dot get user ID. Cool. We can't access it because it's inside of a. I love this. User dot Well, it might help if I wasn't trying to use JavaScript. There we go. Okay, so if the IDs match, then we will just return the poll. Ooh, we can't. No. Okay. We're gonna say, we're just gonna go ahead and do what I was originally planning. And we're just gonna say votes dot add, and we're gonna go ahead and add the vote user. And then we'll say, before we do any of this, we'll just say if our votes dot contains our user, then we're just going to return the poll. We're not going to update it, right? So we don't want the user to be able to vote twice, basically, is the idea here. And that was the whole reasoning behind doing that. Thanks for the like again. And it's a little bit messy, but let's go ahead and try it out. Let's go ahead and make a post. Okay, we made a post. Let's say that we want to vote for 5, right? Copy this. We say, okay, choice 5, send it in. Okay, so now choice 5 has me under the vote. Now let's say I want to vote for vote 6 now. With the user poll, with the Twitter poll, you can only vote once. Send it. Now you can see it just returned the poll. It didn't modify anything, and we only voted for that first poll. So that is working. I think that is good to go. We can create a poll. We can vote for the poll. So now I guess we kind of got to go onto Twitter and kind of take a look at what the poll looks like and all of that stuff. And we'll kind of work on that for 20 minutes or so and move on from there. Let me refresh Twitter until the For You page isn't toxic. All right, so if we click on poll, so it's going to create a component with a rounded edge and a couple choices. And so let's hop into React. And let me go ahead and close out of a couple things here. And we'll npm run or npm start. It's been a minute since I've been on front end. I know you guys can't see the Twitter on the side, but that's fine. Let this open up for a sec here. And I'm gonna go ahead and just like immediately upload this after this because the YouTube processing takes forever. Okay, so let's, if I could close out of that, copy this over. We got like 30 minutes to work on this. I'll be curious to see how these episodes break down. All right, let's sign in. I think this one's just unknown coder. I don't like that. Next. Is it not unknown coder? Let me double check. Shouldn't have to do unknown coder at mail.com. Let me open up dbeaver. So dbeaver. That is unknown coder, but maybe I'm wrong. Unknown coder. Yeah, that's the username. I spelled it wrong. Classic. Log in. All right, so whenever we hit this, that does what it's supposed to do, but it needs to pop up a new thing. So let's go into our code here. Let's close out a feed for now. And those will be in the feed components. I really want to modify this probably. I don't love this. I'll do new folder and I'll call this feed post creator. And this will be poll, I guess. And we'll make a new file, feed post creator poll.tsx. And let's just import React from React and export const feed post creator poll React FC And all right, we return for now a div with a class name, and this will be feed post creator poll. Okay, so it looks like we have two sections. We have like a left, a right, and then there's a top, bottom, and then remove poll button. So I'm gonna say div class name equal to feed post creator poll dash choices. Right? Whoops. And if you guys are curious what I'm looking at right here, so and we could probably do one of these. I have a big enough monitor now, although it makes it kind of hard whenever I have so many screens. Can I please do what I want? Not gonna let me split it half and half, is it? Okay, well, it's being annoying, so we'll just try to split it half and half best as we can here. Right, so we have this top bar. That's what I'm kind of looking at here. And then we've got a left and right. So div class name equal to feed dash post creator poll left, and a div class name. This should be poll choices left, and this will be feed post creator poll choices right. And then we have a inside of, this is still inside of poll, but outside of poll choices we have a div class name, and this is kind of like the poll length, so just say feed dash post creator dash poll. This will be length, and then we have like a remove poll button. So I guess we'll just say div class name equal to feed dash post creator dash poll button. And the reason why I'm making a div is just because it takes up this whole space like a div. So, all right, so that's where we're at on this. We're gonna make this full screen again. So, let's see, what do we want to do from here? So we need choices, which are basically just input divs. We're gonna start with two choices, no matter what. So let's go ahead and bring in useState, I guess. We'll bring in useState. We'll say const the const number of choices. Set number of choices, and this will equal to useState, and this will be a number. Then it'll start out as 2. It'll always start out as 2. Ooh, I just realized. We probably don't want choices left and right. We probably want a choice itself. I'm just going to call this choice. And there's a good chance that I create this into its own component based off whatever we need. Thanks for the like again. So this will be split in 2 basically. So this is going to be like, basically we'll have a map here. So copy this. And we'll have like a map. Although, do we want a map? I'm using Redux. So would this really be a map? We don't really have an array. I don't think I can do a for loop in here. So what do we want to do here? We always need a function called generate. We'll say, what do we want to call this? We'll say const, and we'll say choices and set choices is equal to use states of a string array, I guess. And then this will be equal to choice 1. How do we want to do this? We could do, because we have to change the text itself, which I guess we can know by the ID or the key or something, or the child. So I think let's just do this. We'll figure it out. Choice 2. And then we'll say map based off of choices. Map choices. And then for each choice, we need to say choices.map. Choices.map each choice and return the choice code. So this is definitely a possible idea to, or a possible thing to change here. Choice, and we'll say, we could say like name is equal to choice or something. Although we can't put name on there. What attributes can we put on a, we could do ID, I guess. ID is equal to choice. I swear we could put name on there. Why can't we put name, I wonder? Does name really not exist on ID on a div? Huh. Maybe it only exists on a, it might only exist on an input element. So I don't know if I love this, because then we're gonna have some funky things going on probably. But we'll see what happens. So then what we'd have in here is like a we need like a, what is this called? A validated input, basically? Or is it a, I forget what these are called. It might be a validated input or a text input. Might just be a validated text input. Takes in a valid, which we're not worried about. We'll just say true all the time. A name, a label, change value attribute, the data that it shows, and any attributes. I'm guessing data just goes into value. Yeah. Let's try the validated text input. Validated text input. So I guess we don't need an ID here, because we're just gonna set up an on change. So we need to import validated text input, and we need to have valid. So valid is just always going to be set to true. And then we need a name. So name will equal to, I don't love this because this could cause an issue, but we'll put choice there. And then label will equal to choice. And then on change, or what's it called? Change value. So it needs a change value equal to, in here we need to set this up. Whoops, change value. Let's just do this for now until we get this to work. So right now we don't have anything to see, and then we need like a plus icon. So we'll say, let's pass in, whenever we map, we'll also pass in the index. So we'll say, guess we won't need number of choices anymore because we're just gonna add the choices. And honestly, the name could be the, well, I don't know how that'd work. I was gonna say the name could be the index, but I don't know if that'll work. But we're gonna say one of these. We're gonna say index equal to choices dot length -1, and then we'll just have like a p tag. Although there's probably material UI. Yeah, we'll do a p tag. The class name equal to feed post creator pull choice add, and then let me look at material UI icons. Whoops, I spelled icons wrong. Material UI icons. Let's look for an add. Okay, I'm gonna copy this, copy add, and need to import the CSS. We haven't made the CSS yet. We'll say add icon in here. Again, this is prime candidate for refactoring in a second, but I just kind of want to get something up and running more or less, and then we can kind of go from there. Okay. So we'll add the add icon. So then if we're the last index, add the add icon. So right now, whenever we change things, it's not going to do anything, but let's at least see if there's anything or if it's going to break. You know what? We have to add it first. So let's go into our feed post creator. Let's see, where is our feed post creator? And we need to go down here. And let's see. Let's set up a state here, and this is getting worse and worse. So say const show, and we'll say poll set show poll. Should we put this in state? Should we put this in our post state? Should we put this in our post state? For now, let's not deal with this. Let's just show it to see what it looks like, and then we'll deal with it. So now I'm going to deal with active. So feed post creator images. So I'm just going to pass in the feed post creator poll. Let's just throw it in there. It's going to be whack right now. Doesn't show anything. There it is. Okay, choice 1. Okay, yeah, it's scuffed. And I wonder what happens on Twitter whenever you click on this. Does it? It does that. So I think we have two things firing off at once here. Because whenever I think on clicked activate is doing something funky here. So where's activate? React mouse event on an HTML. This is a div, I think. Not HTML div element. The issue here. Did I spell uppercase HTML? We say e.stop propagation. Will that work? No, it does not. I'm assuming it's setting active over and over again, if I had to guess. Let's see. Console.log. If I had to guess, this is what's going on, but I don't 100% know. Yes. Of course. I love it. This works. So e.prevent stop propagation is not doing anything. So that's terrific. It should already be active. So we're not setting... We're not going into this part, I don't think, over and over again. Right? Yeah, we're not setting it active over and over again. So... Can we try this? Style. Oops. The index 5. I don't know. Will this work? No, of course not. Why would that work? Refresh. That active once. It won't prevent default. Alright, that's a bug that we're going to fix later. I want to fix up the rest of this. So now we have the poll length. So this looks like a date selector basically, or a drop down. Do we have that for validated? We have validated date selector and validated display. How easily can we modify this? Let's see. So this just has a drop down. I don't know where that drop down comes from. As data, so data goes into value. Calls the drop down, which is a function, which returns a JSX element. And where does this come from? Is there this in utils? Get months, get days, get years. You know what? What would this be in registration? I don't know what register modal it's in though. Let's just put in some random stuff. So let's go ahead and bring that in really quick. So here, we'll say p tag class name equal to feed dash post creator poll length text. This says poll length. Whoops. And then let's just do this. We're gonna say validated date selector, and validated date selector needs style. I have no idea what style's for. Style, I'm just gonna set it equal to a string. It needs valid. Valid is always gonna be true. It needs name. So name will be days. It needs, let's see. So it needs drop down. This one's a little bit tricky. So drop down will equal to an object that returns hello. Doesn't like it. Does that have to be a JSX element array? We do this. Okay. We need dispatcher. That would just equal to an object that does nothing. I don't know what style does. I don't remember any of this. So this isn't quite working. As you can see, I don't know what the style does, but it looks like we can do what I was thinking here. Copy this, paste it, unless it's the hello, I guess. It could be this. And I'm not going to deal with all that, but we have days, hours, and then minutes. I need to look into what the style does again. Okay, so that does something. I'll look into style later. Style isn't used. Declared but never read. Style is never used. So I guess we're just gonna ignore that. So yeah, so I'm guessing this array is probably no bueno. It can go up to 7 days, 23 hours, 59 minutes. And then finally the last part will just say, I don't even need a p tag. We probably just say remove poll. And that's probably good. And obviously it's scuffed and everything. Okay, so I need to look into how we can keep it on this, because we're technically clicking inside of the one box. E.stop propagation is not doing anything, which is great. I don't think E.prevent default will do anything either. Right? If we do this, what's there to stop? Yeah. Doesn't do anything. But basically, it's calling this activate function over and over again, which then focuses on the text area. So maybe what we say is, can we say console.log e dot current target? What does this look like? Feed post creator. It just says feed post creator. E dot target. Okay. If E dot target, how are we gonna do this? If E, and now let's double check something. We click on this. we get a text area. If e.target how are we going to do this? We're going to say let target element equal to, we're going to say any e.target we're going to say if we're going to throw an ID on this. So I'm going to go up into our feed post creator. I'm going to go down to text area ID equal to, whoops. We're going to say ID is equal to text post text, right? And we're going to say if this target element ID is equal to post text. Then we will say focus. Otherwise, I don't want to unfocus, basically. So let's try this. So now, there we go. Okay. Crisis averted. I don't know why the prevent default doesn't do anything. Or not prevent default. I don't know why the stop propagation won't do anything. But that seems like it's working fine. So now, whenever we click on this, obviously these are broken because we need to set up the different, we need to set up basically hours, days, and minutes. Yeah, but choice 1, choice 2 works. Whenever we click on this, we need to be able to add a new choice, basically. And whenever we type in this, we need to be able to update the choice. So I kind of want to make a small to-do here, and I could, I guess, add to the GitHub. Let's see. Let's go to the GitHub really quick. And let's do this. Go to projects. Twitter clone. All right. So here, set up polls in the Java application is done. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw this. Actually, I don't want to put it at the top because it's the most recently done. Attach a poll to a post with create poll modal. So update post to receive polls in Java application. I don't know if this meant on the front end or the back end. But I'm going to add a new item. Actually, let's do it on this. Let's go ahead and add some comments. So what do we want to do? We edit this. We can just leave a comment, I guess. So what we need to do is come back into here. So we need to, I lost my GitHub. All right, so we need to be able to type into the choice box and update the choice from, I could type choice number to the choice. We need to be able to add a new choice when hitting the choice button. We need to be able to, what else do we want to be able to? We want to be able to update the poll length. So this, whoops. So this means that, we do this. How do I indent on here? Control tab, shift tab. I guess I don't know. So this needs to, I forgot what we were saying. We need to update the post slice to accept a poll. Obviously we need to style this. Style poll. What else do we need to do? And then obviously, excuse me, remove a poll with the button. So that's what we're going to work on Thursday, is going through all of those. It's been about an hour of streaming and recording here, so I'm going to go grab some dinner. So I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching the video after the fact, and we'll be back again later this week.